Now you're on.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call our meeting to order. This is the December 15th meeting of Brattleboro Housing Partnership, DBA for Brattleboro Housing Authority. First item on the agenda is review and approve minutes from the meetings of October 6th and October 24th, which were attached to our agenda.
One thing, under A,
This
I
is
think-
on the 6th.
yeah, this is on the 6th. On A, apparently the computer auto-corrected. Instead of needles, it says needless. Second sentence,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to,
I caught that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
caught that one too.
that's all I found there.
Okay. Anything else relative to the October 6th meeting report? If not, I'll entertain a motion to be approved as suggested or amended.
So moving, I'm second that.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye and raising their hand.
Aye.
Those opposed? Very good. November 24th.
You did your right hand. So,
Okay, do I have a motion to
I'll move that
approve?
one also as well.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Might as well.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? Very good. Okay, this is for all the board members.
Oh, okay. So I should say anything.
Resident and citizen participation. I gather no residents or citizens wish to participate. Business of resident interest, staff reports, property managers. Welcome new property manager Courtney DeNavarro.
Yes. Courtney has been with us. This is her third week.
Yes.
Okay.
She spent a good part of the day at the high rise doing annual recertifications, I believe.
Yeah. You'll be seeing her
So
soon.
we'll meet her soon.
Okay.
Research, and then in January they're doing
there's
inspections.
yeah.
Remind me of her background.
8 years of property management in Springfield, Vermont with Stewart Properties.
Okay. So she's,
Very,
Seasoned.
yeah.
very knowledgeable, very just great, working really well with the rest of the public housing folk.
Very good. Review of written reports. Is this where the page that says, please bring your agenda
Yeah.
items in
Was there
November to
a
the meeting?
report?
I looked all over the place, I couldn't find my
I
agenda.
think maybe I could give you an oral report on property management.
Yeah, there was a short one in November, but you
Yeah,
can give me
we,
update.
now that we have two property managers, they have taken over turnovers and filling apartments, and the long list, thanks to them, but thanks also to the expert work from the senior management, has finally started to go down. Collections have taken something of a hit, but we're getting back on track there now that we have two people again, so that will be
Good.
improving. And we'll start seeing reports next month.
Okay. And we are very pleased that some of the pressure is off senior management, whoever that might be.
Whatever that might be.
I think senior management is equally pleased.
Very happy.
I'm not. Okay.
Although I know a few of our new residents, which is kind of fun.
I know most of our residents that have met me are really, really glad that I'm not doing what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
Boy,
yeah, I did hear that.
did you? Yeah, never mind.
If anybody could make them miss lady.
That's what we're seeing.
Well, that's good. That way they're in a good mood to welcome the new people.
That's right.
That's right.
That is exactly.
Okay, we have 4 amounts that are being presented as write-offs. And are we willing to look at them all 4 at once? So I need but a single motion.
Is there any reason why, is there any of these things that we really should scrutinize? Is this
No,
pretty
these
much
are all-
normal business?
They're normal business. These are all people that have left with debts, and we write them off, but it doesn't mean we don't attempt to collect.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
so they're off the
Yeah,
books,
They're off the
but we
books, but we
may,
go after
at
them.
some point in
Yeah.
time, collect.
Yeah.
And we do what we need to get their names reported as owing a housing authority money, which
Yeah.
when they go to apply somewhere else, it'll flag it, and they
Their
need to
credit
pay us
reports will
before they-
reflect this kind of
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's the way it should be.
I move that we write off the following amounts, $1,110 at Ledgewood, $1,112.49 at Ledgewood, $1,160 at Garfield Drive, $285.22 at Moorport.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Carries.
The one other public housing thing, I don't know if I sent this to you, but we got our public housing assessment system report for the year ending in 3/31/2014. Anyhow, we got a 95, so we got a high performer again, which is great.
It's a gold star, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's very good. It's never clear whether they're going by calendar year or fiscal year. They do it every year.
You could have finished that sentence with a period after the first 3 words.
Yeah, never know.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
so,
Reports from the program managers, FSS, which is on the blue sheet. Lucy sounds happy.
Yes.
And it sounds, she always has some interesting things to report. And they sound very good. Those are things
Oh, there it is.
that
No,
pop up
it's
in my
not.
house.
I don't think, I don't think they have this stuff. No,
And
it's not easy.
one of her people is going to be having a showing.
yeah, an
for
art show.
paintings,
yeah.
and that we will be
No, it's-
notified when the opening and closing is, so we can
like to meet
stop by, and-
Mhm.
which is nice. Trying to remember what else there was by way of reports for this section. Don't think there were any others.
No, I think the other item, just to remind you, is that we did get our grant renewed, and that the grants have been, we had 2 separate grants, one for public housing and one for Section 8, and now they've been combined into one grant that is funding 2 people.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I
Program,
guess under this one, program manager, you're about to just start it.
yeah, we
Yeah,
have.
I was just gonna ask how was Sandy doing?
Oh, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, because she was very helpful to me when I was disabled there. I hope she's doing okay.
Okay, Housing Choice Voucher Program, Shelter Plus Care, transitions to housing. Anything that deserves comment there?
Did they mention the family supported housing
We didn't get a report.
the last
from Dave.
time? No,
Oh,
a
last time?
month
I
ago.
don't remember.
Well, he signed a grant for the family supported housing, which is going to allow for master leasing 3 apartments in partnership with
Winston Crowley?
Morningside and Winston Crowley, I think it is, yeah. So that's starting up now.
Super.
Yeah, you did mention that in November.
Yeah,
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we were once again the #1 program when the state did their shelter plus care review.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Property redevelopment manager, I don't believe we had anything directly from him about the next.
In November we did, and
Yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Architect procurement,
Yeah.
the contract period, now what is that for? And is it for Red Clover or?
No,
Okay.
it's for, we get what's called an indefinite sum contract for an architect and an engineer. And it runs for a 5-year period, and under that, we can then get subcontracts for any of the architectural work that we
Okay.
need during that 5-year period.
Okay,
So
good.
it's the way to get an architect and not have to go out to the full bidding process every time.
Hmm.
So the contract that we did have is up, and the same is true with our engineer. So we need to go out and get both the engineer and the architect. So we'll see who.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is Red Clover Commons, update on project status. It says here, permits completed, funding, signed resolution for disaster
Yes.
recovery grant
Which I
application.
now
which is
have.
shared.
No, Bill just handed it. Is that fine? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Is this the one we were waiting for last month?
No, you approved it last month, and
Yeah.
I failed to have you sign it, and now I need to enter it. It's the last thing we need to enter into the community development block grant,
Okay.
disaster relief program, to get that grant.
Mm-hmm.
So,
HUD approvals, disposition application has been approved, tenant-based voucher request has been sent to field office.
well, it hasn't been sent, actually. It's been delayed because we had this other thing, but it's going out this week. So,
Okay, next is the brownfield update. Can I address that briefly? Okay. There's already been, as you saw in our packets, there's been a memo that's gone around to the people from Melrose, but I think it would be good in light of the Reformer article last week, I believe it was, relative to the charges that the state had brought against people who had been defiling that particular piece of ground, which I think was very good because the findings from the state coincided so closely with the findings that our studies had gone through, that our studies have been vindicated or supported, I should say. And I think it's important for people to know that we were aware that those materials had been deposited illegally on that piece of property, that there were residues of it still there, and that we, right from the beginning almost, planned on, that's been part of what the project has been funded for and what are we planning on doing, is to go in and remove the unwanted materials from the topsoil and subsoil there.
So
So,
the good news is there were no surprises.
that's right.
That's
And here's,
very good.
if I didn't send, this is the memo that went out on Friday.
Yeah.
We're going to have a meeting on this Wednesday at 1 o'clock with our development partner and at least one of the environmental consultants, as well as we hope Susan McMahon from Wyndham Regional will be joining us. Susan is a real expert in brownfields. So they can answer questions for folks, but Marshall is got it right.
This is the article in the...
yeah.
Yeah, and then on the back of
I
the next,
read
the next
that.
article.
Yeah.
And these guys were playing games big time,
And
Yes.
which is, I guess, what you're doing at this.
yeah, it was interesting because when we were doing our environmental work, the state was just, watching us, and we were like, why? I mean, we know we knew it was a brownfield. Everybody knew it was a brownfield, but the state was taking particularly deep, detailed
They had
interest
an
in everything.
agenda.
And that's because this
Yeah,
investigation was going on, and we wouldn't have been told about it.
no, they couldn't tell you.
So, but that's why the state, because here we were doing all their work, you know. So we have a pile that literally is this high. It's all these reports that are available to anybody who would like to come in and look at them. We've had 2 public hearings on this. So they'll be there to discuss the resident, any concerns or questions that residents have.
Good.
They will be there and we'll just address them. And then what I'm going to do is take the questions and the answers and update the frequently asked questions that we have for Melrose and then put them out again because we haven't done that in a while. We have new tenants. It's a good time to redistribute that so people sort of can see where we've been and you know, look through all of those. There's like 110 questions. So.
Yeah.
Question, if this company gets fined when they go to court, do we get any of that money
I have no idea.
for cleaning it up?
Seems only fair.
That's what I think.
I can tell you that our community development disaster recovery grant went from $5 million to $5.6 million because of this.
Okay.
So I suspect the state might be looking for some recoup. And one of the things that I know has come up is that residents have said, well, this is why you picked this site, because it was dirty and it was really cheap. And that's not true.
No.
That's not true at all. We didn't, it originally wasn't that cheap, and we didn't pick it because it was a brownfield. That had nothing, that was not the reason we picked it.
Well, I was on the committee that looked at all the sites in town, and I mean, this was the only one that made any sense for the people, you know, for the people at Melrose. I mean, because it was so convenient, and at that time, we didn't even know it was, I don't think we even knew it was a brownfield at that time.
No, but it was
Found
by
out
far
through
the
it.
best site
Yeah.
that we looked
Oh,
at.
it was
yeah.
basically the only site that made any sense.
Well, according to Housing Vermont, and they've done just number of developments in towns and cities, and they said now you can't find a site in a town or a city that's within the town limits that isn't partially a brownfield. I mean, they just
That's
are
probably
Yeah.
true.
because of the
Yeah.
nature
Very
of
commercial.
that
Yeah.
whole,
Yeah.
you know, technical sphere and
Yeah.
because of the nature of what's left.
Yeah.
So when you
Yeah.
find an empty lot,
Well, did you notice that that one lot we looked at Western Avenue, somebody bought that and cleaned it up? But I mean, it still would have made sense because it's so far from everything. And this one was just so convenient for the residents to go to the drugstore, to go to the grocery store,
Oh.
to go to any place.
Yeah.
Get pizza.
yeah.
Go to the hospital.
They've got
Exactly.
3 drugstores
Right.
within walking distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And two bus lanes come by there.
Oh,
You
it's
know, this would
right.
be Raymond Roberts here, this could have been a real disaster for us. But
Yeah. Well,
luckily,
and that one back building was their automotive,
yeah.
where they did all the painting
Yeah.
of, you know, wrecked cars.
And we went through that building very carefully
Yeah.
in terms of the environmental
Right.
assessment.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that, the phase 1 is something that everybody does, and then a phase 2 is if the state and everybody goes, you better look in deeper. And it was really that building more than anything else that triggered everybody's desire for
Yeah.
us to go and actually scrape parts of the building. So, yeah, it's sort of, you can look at this pile and say, oh, they really knew it was really dirty. Or you can look at this pile and go, wow, were they thorough?
Yeah.
It's really,
I prefer
which way the glass is, you know?
Yeah.
I'd like to look at this pile and go, see, we really did our work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've got a
Good
good
due
remediation
diligence.
plan, so.
And the people in Wilson's Woods should be thrilled
Oh,
that
they are.
this was in their
Yeah.
backyard,
Oh,
and
I
now
can
it's going to be
remember
cleaned up.
Tom and I were at one of the early meetings with the Wilson's Woods residents, and they listened very intently when they heard
Oh, yeah.
that there was going to be a cleanup.
They have had this property, and there's other properties that also dump through here that have leached onto their yards, and it's been contaminated. And the kettle pond has fills almost regularly with E. coli, and it's all sort of coming off of that watershed, and this is part of it, it's not all of it, but part of it. So this is a huge benefit for the whole community.
Yeah.
Yes, it
And
was.
the
And
the
town
corrective
should be
action,
pleased.
yeah, and the corrective action plan is very thorough, and again, the state has really looked at that very carefully, so. But we will address people's concerns on Wednesday, and hopefully there'll be less.
And finally, under Red Clover Commons, community planning for the future of Melrose, historic designation, and H&H Brook study updates.
Yeah, so on the historic designation, we apparently have done all we need to do with respect to the historic nature of Melrose. And the word that I got from Jeanette, who's really been working on this, is that the historic designation people, the Historic Preservation Office, feels that they have all the documentation that they need, and what they want us to do is put up a historic marker
Oh, nice.
for Melrose.
Yeah.
So,
That's not much of a hardship.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
and we are, Jack is starting to work on getting this H&H, it's an engineering, technical engineering hydrology report on the book.
Okay.
Get it out. So,
Okay. Work session, old, new, and other business, financial review, monthly check listing, which is on, I believe it's the green sheet.
Green sheet, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got that one. There you go.
And I had one question on November. Just curious, what is LINA, L-I-N-A?
It's the insurance company that provides life and
Okay.
long-term disability.
Okay.
It's related to Cigna, but has a different name.
Yeah. Just curious.
You thought it was a young lady from
yeah.
Sweden.
Thin, somebody thin.
If there are no other questions. Distribution of audit, we all received it in the mail. Judging by the informal comments before we came into session, everybody seems to have reflected on it and been very
Yes.
pleased with it. Basically, the audit says that we are doing things as well as could be expected, perhaps a bit more.
And yes, in compliance with all the.
Mary has once again kept me out of jail. So happy I hired her. So happy I hired her. Oh, strike that.
No, it's, audits are useful tools if you need them, and if you don't need them, they're just rather boring reading.
Yes,
This was
exactly.
rather boring reading, like I said earlier. So,
Good.
well, yeah, oh, it was
It was
pleasing. but it was-
accurate, but
Yeah.
boring.
Okay, check signing for December. Bill is.
We're here.
Bill is doing it, although he had to arm wrestle Janet, I understand.
I know.
Very much, yeah.
So she has said that she will handle it for January.
Yes.
She did.
So we're all set for there.
Right.
And come January, we can decide on subsequent victims. Holiday lunch this Friday, the 19th,
Yes.
12 o'clock at
If you
the marina.
have not put in, if you have not let us know, you can let us know now.
Right now.
We'll
Okay.
make
If I
sure.
have not let you know, I'll let you know now.
Okay,
I think I'll let you know.
I let them know twice.
okay.
Okay, good.
Very awesome.
So you get to look.
Yes.
No, when I signed my checks that day, I said,
Okay.
I will put them on here, but I don't think I called in to
Good.
let
All
them
right.
know.
Just a question, is it gonna be downstairs?
We have moved
Good.
it downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
My leg thanks you.
Yes, well, there are others,
Yeah.
his legs think us.
Yeah.
So,
And then I'll thank you for
Yeah.
that. Climb those stairs when
Yeah.
I came.
And finally,
the meeting,
the meeting agenda, the meeting schedule for the coming year was
Oh, yeah.
part of our packet this time.
and just,
Are there any adjustments yet?
yes, there will be
Yeah.
September. Apparently I picked Labor Day as the day for our September meeting, so I will go back and have to correct that. But do note that it's not always like the second or third Monday. It has to jump around for various
Yeah.
holidays and meetings. So,
Notice that a lot of these meetings are earlier in the month,
yes.
because they're normally
Yeah,
at the
we
end of
used
the
to
month,
be at
you
the
know?
end of the month, and now I have meetings that occur at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I was putting mine in my calendar, so that's where I saw
Yeah.
it were falling.
Yeah.
And because Labor Day is late this year because the month begins on Wednesday.
oh. I
So,
just
you know,
didn't
so
catch
you go all the way around until the 7th, till Labor Day this year. Yeah,
Darn Google.
What is Labor Day?
it's the 7th.
Is
It
it
is the
7th?
seventh, so I'll
It's the
change,
seventh,
I'll
yeah.
change that and send it out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, because
Yeah,
last
it is
year,
late.
this year, this year, it was the first of the month. So
Yeah.
you go
Yeah,
a day,
that's
you go a
right.
day, so,
Yeah.
you know, it goes around the whole week
Right.
again.
Right. I will get a new schedule out to everybody.
Which had me totally confused this year, that it was the first of the month.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else that anybody would like to bring up before we go into executive session?
I move that we enter executive session to talk of personnel matters.
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded, we enter executive session to discuss personnel matters. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, passed